Hey guys and ladies, welcome to Zip Gaming Online, and today we're going to be talking about the Silva and Aegis. God, I hope I said that right, because, well, okay, before we start on anything really, I do have to address the credits of the creation of this weapon. Pretty much the design comes from the guy called Silver Bones, or Bear. He got a YouTube channel called The Hidden Red Code, so go ahead and click that link if you want to see his stuff. And, yeah, so he won the user-submitted design contest, and here we have it. I really like the idea of sword and shield, however, I think the implementation was not that great. So, like, it's just not that great, really. So, with that being said, I really wish it was better. But here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why it's not that great, and I think everybody will be on the same page here once I kind of show you why. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I hope you guys get to see all the melees and whatnot. So, with that being said, let's see how it blocks, because it's a sword and shield, right? So let's see just how well it blocks, because, you know, a lot of people have high hopes for how it blocks, but, it doesn't look all that well. It really does not. And again, this is a level 3 Lancer. This is one of the first enemies you'll encounter in the game, and it has the potential of draining your stamina in 3 seconds, or 3 to 4 seconds really, but you get the point. It's pretty bad. So let's compare it with Dual Commas, because it doesn't have shield. It should do worse, right? Wrong. So yeah. Oh, look at the drain. Look at the drain. It's so much, how do I say it? It's so much more amazing, isn't it? It works so much better. And it's just so weird. How does a dual weapon that is not meant for blocking does it way better than a sword and a shield that's meant for blocking? It's just crazy, really. And as you can see now, I'm getting smacked in the head and getting shot, and I am still able to actually deflect some of the shots and not to worry too much about it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the coptering. This is the one with the spoiled strike. As you can see, it's doing okay. So here's the one without the spoiled strike. It's doing a lot better, certainly. It's feasible, but we'll compare it to Dual Commas just for the sake of it. So now we're gonna do a comparison of the jump attack. Here's the one with the heat sword. And why am I doing this? Well, because a lot of people say that, the explosion is big. So here's the heat dagger. It's not doing all that well. Now here's the one with Kogake. And a lot of people say, oh, the jump attack was big on Silva and Aegis, but no, it's purely visual. So here's the fragger. Yeah, it's pretty damn big, isn't it? Yeah. Now here's the Silva and Aegis. Yeah, it certainly looks big, but what's that? Oh, it's actually really small! So, I'm gonna go ahead and just basically play the devil's advocate here, but this weapon, sadly, is just not up to par. And I'm not saying that the damage is low like everybody does. The damage is actually fine. Like, as you can see right now, without spoiled strike, I managed to almost one-hit kill most enemies. Granted, they are Corpus, but the thing is, I'm not using a Corpus build, I'm using a Radiation build. Anyway, before I go anywhere, let's talk about the build, because I mentioned build before. So, the one that I was using earlier, and I kind of color-coded this to kind of make it easier for you guys. Basically, when I'm using speed build, I'm going to use the colorful Mirage skin. And whenever I use the purple and white Mirage skin, basically it's going to be focused on damage. Alright? So, focusing on damage, you will have Spoiled Strike. When you're focusing on speed, you will only have the Fury. Okay? So with that being said, let's take a look at the speed. The speed has the Fury, Molten Impact, the Volcanic Strike, Focus Energy, Pressure Point, Voltaic Strike, Virulent Scorch, and Fever Strike. The reason here is I want to see just how far I could actually push the status, like the actual statistic that the weapon has, and see how far it can go. This has nothing to do with like a build video, okay? This is, again, this is basically it's a look at video. It's a first impression video, although to be fair, I do kind of push it a little bit farther than first impression, but the point remains the same. It's not about building the weapon. It's about actually testing it out and see how far it can go. So, as you can see right now, it's actually okay in terms of damage, but the thing that keeps me going back over and over and over again is purely just the blocking. The blocking becomes the biggest problem, and it shouldn't be, because it's a sword and a shield. You're supposed to actually do a lot better at blocking than you are at attacking. You know, I mean, like, the weapon is small. The weapon itself, the sword itself, is not that big. And if you actually turn off the auto melee function in Warframe, you can see that it actually has just a slight bit more range than a heat dagger. So it's actually a pretty short range weapon. But coupled that with the basically inability to actually block an attack, this weapon becomes problematic. Okay? And here's the thing. So we knew that we can't really block, so why don't we do damage? So, okay, let's go ahead and try to do damage, basically. So with this one, we take out the ability of actually just going around and attacking fast and status and all of that, and we put in the Spoiled Strike for basically a big damage boost. And it's just, as you can see, really, yes, it's actually doing a pretty decent damage. I mean, it does 500 per strike. That's not bad. And especially this is corrosive and heat. You can potentially use this for, like, you know, I wouldn't say endgame, but you would be able to take it to the void. But again, because this is a weapon that is lacking in kind of like damage department to actually become like an endgame weapon that you might actually want to bring just for the pure damage, and also it's lacking in the blocking capability that you might want to use for actually blocking things, this weapon kind of sits in a weird position, really. Most weapons have something to offer, be it crowd control options, meaning you can stun enemy, you can knock them down, stuff like that, or you have some form of a high damage or fast attacks, stuff like that to kind of balance it out. This weapon has none, so it's really sitting in like the middle ground for everything right now, which is not that good. So all in all, what do we have? What do we have in Silva and Aegis? Basically, you have this weapon, right, that is supposed to be able to block really well, but it's not. And you're supposed to have this kind of weapon that is like, it looks like a short sword and it's supposed to hit fast, but it's not. So what's going on here? It's basically something that I really hope that DE kind of fix along the line, like, you know, Helios. I mean, like, I still hated Helios, it's still slow for me, but it's a lot better than it used to be. So with that being said, I hope that was informative for you guys, and yeah, I think that's it really. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye, guys, take care.